Hi, welcome to Books with Lexi. In this video, I'm going to be reading some summer thrillers. So maybe a couple weeks ago at this point, I cannot remember, I did a video where I read summer horror books, and at the very end I said I was going to be doing some summer thrillers, so here that is. This intro is going to be very quick because I have a plan for what I'm reading, and I'm just going to tell you that. I surprisingly have all of these books for once. So, the three books I'm going to be reading, the first one is an island bachelorette thriller, and this is She Started It by Sharon Gilbert. I, for the longest time, was saying Cyan Gilbert, but the audiobook says Sharn. Like, it's Irish, so I think it's Sharn, like with an R, Sharn. I think. I don't really know, but it's not Cyan. This is following 5 friends. 4 of the friends are still friends, and then 1 is the outcast, and she has invited them to her bachelorette party. It's like an all expense paid on an island resort situation, and they decide to go. This is a debut, so I have not read from this author before, obviously, but I'm looking forward to this one. The next 2 are cruise thrillers, but I think they have different vibes. The first one is You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modlin. This is following our main character who has been surprised with a cruise by her husband and her best friend. And once they are on the ship, there's a mysterious stranger who is very suspicious, and then things go wrong. I think this is my 6th, maybe, book from Kirsten Modlin. Her books are like ridiculous and fun, and that's what I want. So I am really looking forward to seeing what twists and turns are in this one. And then the third book I will be reading is The Stowaway by James S. Murray and Darren Wearmouth. James Murray is from Impractical Jokers. This is not his first book, well, co-written. There's an Awakened trilogy and another thriller. Truly, I don't know how much James Murray has written of this book, but that's fine. This is a cruise ship stranded at sea with a serial killer hiding aboard. That's all I need to know. So, once again, these sound like very different vibes. I am really, really excited to read all 3 of these. Summer thrillers, I think, are some of my favorites. While I also really like winter thrillers, a lot of times with both, they lead to isolation, which is something that I like. So, I'm going to get started with She Started It. I am somewhere around 30% into She Started It by Shawn Gilbert. I think it's Sharn. That's what it sounded like in the audiobook. So I have been saying Cyan Gilbert the whole time, but I started the audiobook and I was like, oh, it's an Irish name, so that makes sense. So I was just like saying Cyan Gilbert and just being dumb in multiple videos. We are following 4 characters: Annabelle, Esther, Tanya, and Chloe. They are best friends. Well, they were children and then they drifted apart in adulthood, but they were like kind of friends, but there's like a shared secret from the past that kept them all together. And then out of nowhere, they get an invitation from someone who is another old friend to join her for her bachelorette party. Well, the synopsis says bachelorette, but then they're calling it a hen party in the book, so I don't know why they decided to do that. But none of them speak to Poppy, they just see her Instagram. She has a lot of money. She's paying for a 3-day private luxe island in the Bahamas for everybody. So they all end up deciding to go, and they get there and they quickly discover that Poppy has changed from the past. It is very clear that this like big secret is something that they all did to Poppy. So they are trying to kind of figure out if she's still holding a grudge, but they're like, no, there's no way because she invited us to this trip and is paying for us. But then like some like random odd things start to happen, like something will go missing, or like one of them like acts really weird. So with this, some of them are rich, so there's some rich people drama. There's the secrets from the childhood that you're learning like a little bit about. It's done in a way that doesn't bother me, so it's not like the whole novel we're going to be told, oh, the secret is so big and like then it turns out to be terrible. And by terrible I mean boring. But with this, like, I think we're going to be slowly learning about it as it goes, so it's not going to wait until the very end, which I like. My one complaint is that I'm having a little bit of issues with the characters, and I cannot remember which character goes to which name. Like, it'll say Annabelle, and then I'm like, okay, which one is Annabelle? And then I'm not completely positive at this moment. And then we're also getting Poppy's journal entries from when she was in secondary school, whatever that equates to. I don't know, young. So I'm on page 90 and I'm really enjoying it. I think what I'm gonna do is write down all of the characters. I know who Poppy is for sure, but the other four, I'm like, please help. This is cool. I will say that there is pretty explicit homophobia in this so far. It doesn't feel like that's the author's opinion, but it is very much like someone says something and they're like, oh, ew, like it was weird. So hopefully that has, I guess, a purpose, but yeah. Enjoying it right now. I do want it to get a little more ridiculous. I'm liking the ominous parts of it. And I think once I make my little character list, I will enjoy it even more. There's some things that have happened and you know, like other things are going to start happening. So very interested to see how this goes. My audiobook loan expires very soon, so I need to get to it. I am 2/3 into She Started It. I don't know what page I'm on because I'm always listening to the audiobook and I was not following along towards the end. And I am enjoying it. In this section, there was just like some moments where it was too much like high school super petty drama, and there are some choices that are made that aren't like terrible and they're to show how bad the characters are, but I'm not loving them. It's just like past drama, and that stuff is not as interesting, but like the past drama needs to happen for the present day drama. And the present day drama is very fun. It is very over the top. It's kind of ridiculous. For some reason, I'm still having slight issues with the characters. I am better now than I was before, but I just really don't know why that was happening. I'm not sure. But I am going to finish this tonight. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I don't think at this point it is going to get 5 stars, but there is a lot of really fun things going on. So it is a quick read. It is a good time. I don't really have a lot to say other than that because everything that has happened is spoilers, but there's this like big event that happens and that is like so dramatic and ridiculous, but I really like it. So I'm going to finish this up and I will come back with my final thoughts. So I have finished She Started It and I think I'm going to settle on 3.5 stars for this. So I did have a fun time with this. I thought it was full of drama. It reminded me more so at the start of You're Invited by Amanda Giatessa. I like that one significantly more. But truly my main complaint is that I don't think that the characters were different enough. The whole time I was reading, it took me a really long time to figure out who was who, like which perspective I was in. And I think that's just because all of the characters were too similar and it just like made it not as fun because instead of just like being along for the ride, I was trying to figure out who was talking. That is really my main complaint. I enjoyed the twists and the direction. Like I don't think it was anything groundbreaking, but like it was a good time. But when I never know who is talking, it's a little difficult. So that is really it for this. I just don't have anything else to say. I would recommend it if you're interested, but I wouldn't go out of your way to read it if you had no interest in reading it already. So kind of a bummer. I am going to keep it on my shelves for now, but it'll probably be one that gets unhauled sooner than later, like if I need space on my shelves. So moving on, I am going to now switch to You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modglin. So I have started You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modulin. I don't know why I decided that I needed to go to this page instead of just putting a picture in. Anyway, I do own the book, but I'm reading it on my Kindle before bed too. So in the future, if I think about it, I will hold up the actual book. Anyway, so I am 35% into You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modulin. This is like book 6 or 7 or something that I've read from her. So this is a cruise thriller. In this one, we are following May and Blake and Florence. Those are the 3 perspectives we're getting, but there are 4 characters. So May and Blake are married, and Florence and Patton, I think his name is, are dating, and they are going on a vacation because every single year May's family takes this trip because when she was young, her brother died. And this year, May's parents are not able to go because her mom is sick. So Florence and Blake decide to like plan a surprise cruise. So they're leaving from the location that the vacation normally takes place, and they are going on the cruise from there. They're going to some like typical island places and stuff. Let me look at the synopsis because I don't want to spoil anything. So once they get on board, this mysterious stranger causes confusion among the group, and then before they can get real answers, tragedy strikes. Okay, I almost said something that I can't say, so I'm glad that I looked at the synopsis. I'm really having a good time with this. There hasn't been like a whole lot. So the stranger thing happened, like the thing with the stranger, and then that kind of develops and turns into like something when a thing happens. Talking about thrillers is hard. And then there's like investigation and stuff. And I feel like investigating is one of the parts that makes me like thrillers the most. I'm interested in the backstory. I'm interested in like the mysterious elements that are going on. Yes, I like the characters. We are getting the 3 perspectives, and kind of suspicious that we're not getting the other guys, but he's like more of an outsider because May and Florence are best friends. I'm liking it so far. It's something that I'm looking forward to reading, and I expect major twists to go on because that's what happens in Kirsten Modulin books. So I'm going to lay in bed and read until I fall asleep, and actually hopefully tomorrow I'm kind of hoping to get to the 2/3 mark and talk to you about this more. But I'm having a really good time, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow, but sometime soon. So I just got to part 3, so I figured it would be a good stopping point to talk to you. I'm really enjoying this. It's kind of, I guess, slower paced. It's reading more like a mystery than a thriller, and I'm not really sure why, but right before part 3, there's this reveal that happens. Like you find out like backstory of something, and if that's the direction this goes in, okay, it's going to be very dark moving forward, but I'm really enjoying it. For me, I feel like Kirsten Modulin's books are very readable. They are easy for me to get into. They're ones that I want to continue picking up while I am reading, and that is the case for this one as well, which is good because I bought a copy of it. Yeah, I'm liking the characters. I like that we're getting different perspectives, and I'm interested to see how the direction it seems like it's going is going to play out. But I am really liking it, so I'm going to finish. I will probably finish it tonight, and I will talk to you tomorrow with my final thoughts. I match so well. I have finished You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modulin, and I ended up really enjoying this. The direction that it went in was what was set up at a certain point. This is, I don't know how to rate this, so it's not 5 stars, but I had a really good time with it, and I read it really quickly, so I'm honestly thinking like 4.5 stars. It is not my favorite from this author, but like it is significantly above my least favorite. But also my least favorite is still like just fine. It's not like it's a book I hate. So yeah, I liked that we were alternating chapters because like I was suspicious of multiple people, and then the direction that it went in was a choice. And I really don't think that everybody's going to like it, but I thought that it was I don't know how to talk about this. The last third feels a little more ridiculous than the other parts. And for a lot of people, I know they don't like her books because they are ridiculous, and I do like them because they are ridiculous. My favorite from her I saw on some people's like least favorites of last year. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I would recommend this if you tend to like the similar kinds of thrillers that I like, but like I don't even know if I would compare it to some of those. I'm not sure because it is like fairly dark, but like I've read way darker things. So I don't know. I don't know how to talk about this because like the whole last third is a spoiler. Like there's one thing I want to say that I can't even say that. So I am glad that I read this. 4.5 stars. 4 to 4.5 stars feels right, but I'm gonna go with 4.5 because who cares? Ratings are made up. I don't know where I put my book, but I'm gonna get started on the Stowaway, which I'm really excited about and interested because it's Mar from the Impractical Jokers. So I will talk to you once I'm into that one. Oh my gosh. I have started this. I am about a third in. I'm really obsessed. Okay, went in with fairly low expectations because like anytime someone who's a comedian or an actor or whatever writes a book, like you just question if they got the deal because they're famous, not because it's gonna be good. And I have not read from this duo before. I know that they have a whole trilogy, another thriller. So like I guess I figured that it would be at least okay, but this is feeling like it's gonna be 5 stars. Oh my gosh. So we are following our main character, Maria. She's the head of psychology at Columbia University, and she's on the jury for a case that is dealing with a serial killer of children. She felt that she could not, with the evidence, convict this man, and she's the only person that voted not guilty, and he is set free because of that. And she is very publicly like harassed because of it. So that was 2 years ago. Now Maria and her 2 kids and her now fiance are on a cruise. They're going on a vacation. She was put on sabbatical from her job, and it's coming up on the end, so they're going on a vacation. And then a passenger is found very brutally murdered, and then somebody else goes missing, and things are starting to look like the evidence that she saw in the court around this man. So like, is it a copycat? Was a guilty man let free and is on the cruise and is killing people? I'm having a great time with this. It is really interesting. I'm liking the setup of everything. Like the backstory makes this for a very interesting situation. She's very psychologically messed up from the whole thing, which understandable. And it's just like, it's so good. Things are moving along and then something happens and I'm like gasping and I like so truly I'm having an incredible time. I cannot wait to get to 2/3 in and talk to you again. I do have some predictions, And like, honestly, I can really see that being what's happening, but even if it is, I don't think it's going to bother me because like I'm liking this so much. Right now, I think this could end up being 5 stars. I'm gonna stop talking to you because I want to go back to reading. I have made it 2/3 into the Stowaway. Well, I don't really know. I think I'm further than 2/3 because there's an hour-long author interview at the end of the audiobook. So whenever I talked to you at what I thought was a third, that was more than a third. And now I think I'm at like 54%. So maybe that's about 2/3. I don't really know. But anyway, I still am absolutely having the best time with this. It is just like so good, and I don't really know why. Like, I don't know why it's working so well for me, but like, it is so fun. And then there are things that are surprising me. I don't know. I'm just like stressed. The theory that I had at the very beginning, they're starting to lean into, and now I'm like, that can't be true because that's too obvious. And they're trying to like get you off their scent of the real like the real bad guy. So I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, I guess it technically could be true, and like they're just throwing suspicion on somebody, and then there's still going to be a twist with what that thing is. So it could still be what I think. And even if that is true, like I'm having such a good time reading this book that I just don't care. I am going to finish it today. I don't feel the best, so I've just kind of been lounging around. So I should be able to just finish the audiobook, and then I will talk to you later today. And like, I truly cannot wait. I can't wait to keep reading it. So I'm gonna do that. I am well and truly obsessed with this book. Is that the phrase, well and truly? I'm extremely obsessed. This was such a fun time. Like, oh my gosh, it was so fast paced. This is one that I would recommend widely. Generally, the thrillers that I love are like really over the top and ridiculous, and I don't think that this was that. I think that this was just a good thriller. There was some like messed up stuff, there was some like slightly gory stuff, there was disturbing stuff. The plot was fun, it was fast paced, there were some like fun moments in it, and honestly, I I did not have high hopes for this book. If you are a comedian, an actor, anything like that, I think I maybe talked about this a little bit earlier, but like I don't have high expectations for you. And that is a little confusing because like their jobs are stories. So I don't know why I have that connotation. This was incredible. This is one of my favorite books of the year. Like I am shocked. I'm extremely shocked, but beyond excited. I love when a book comes out of nowhere and really surprises you because like I have my 5-star authors that I have high expectations for, and I know I'm going to like at least enjoy it. This one, I was like, it'll be probably 3 stars. No. No, absolutely 5, like without a doubt, 5 stars. I just want to scream. I can't. What? Oh my gosh. Please go read this book. It is on Scribd. If you don't have Scribd, I have a link in the description. I got it from Libby. I what? So good. If you hate this book and you read it because of me, don't tell me. If you love this book and you read it because of me, please message me with all of your thoughts because so that is the end of this video. Very, very exciting for me. The progression of this video, love it. Started off with She Started It, which I am going to give 3.5 stars, and then You Can Trust Me, which I don't know. Here's the thing. This is kind of unrelated, but it's related. So whenever I first got back into reading, I was doing quarter star ratings. And then I was what does this mean? What am I doing? So then all of, was it last year? I decided I was only going to do full star ratings. And then this year I decided I was going to add back in half star ratings because like I feel like they're important. And like the last month or so, I've been like feeling like quarter star ratings again because for me, You Can Trust Me feels like 4.25. And I don't know why. And I don't know if I'm going to start doing that again, but 4.5 feels slightly too high, I think. But like 4, I don't know if that's high enough. I don't know. So that's my dilemma with that. And then no questions, the Stowaway 5 stars. Please go read this right now. I would still really recommend You Can Trust Me by Kirsten Modulin as well. But this one, so good. Like I don't have enough words for how I feel about this book other than like I could just sit here and scream in excitement, but I don't think you want to see that. So, that is it for this video. If you have read any of these books, I would love to know your thoughts on them. If you are planning on picking up these books now, please tell me. And if you have any summer thriller recommendations, please leave them in the comments. If you want to let me know you made it to the end, you can leave me a boat emoji for this and for You Can Trust Me. They're both cruise books. If you are looking to find me in other places on the internet, everything is linked in the description, including my Bookstagram, my Storygraph, my Etsy, and my Patreon. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!